everybody, it is Jenny from Jenny Fields Pastry Chef Online and Cook the Book with Denise and Jenny, and I'm here with my friend Brandy from Nutmeg Nanny. Hi guys! Brandy is here for a myriad of reasons, not the least of which is to make cinnamon rolls with me. But the most important reason is why are you here?
I'm here to adopt a cat.
Yay! So Tobias, you've seen Tobias, I'm sure, the little brown tabby who got here with the evil stylist. Yeah. Tobias will be leaving in the morning, or before lunchtime, I guess, to go home with Art and Brandy and live in New York.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Yes, it's very exciting. We're very, very happy for her.
But I told her that if I was coming here, we had to make something with yeast because I hate cooking with yeast.
And I have this big boatload of yeast and I got it out of the refrigerator. She's like, oh my god, I've never seen it.
Okay? Like, who has this much yeast on hand?
I do. So we are going to make the same potato sweet roll dough that I made for the Idaho potato people. And it is very, very delicious, and you could use it to make any kind of filled sweet bread, or even not filled. You don't have to fill it if you don't want to. But we are going to make cinnamon rolls because cinnamon rolls are the best.
The best.
So we already went ahead and cooked our potatoes. I'm going to tell you guys what all is in this. So if you are feeling of a mind to make some of this yourself and don't want to go to the blog, I will just tell you. There's 8 ounces of fully cooked, soft Idaho russet potatoes, and 4 ounces, so 1 stick of unsalted butter, and 6 ounces, or 3/4 of a cup of whole milk. Please use whole milk. 2.3 ounces of granulated sugar, which is like about 1/3 of a cup. 1 egg, 2 egg yolks, 2 teaspoons of kosher salt. I am kind of out of kosher salt, so we're going to use about 1.5 teaspoons of fine sea salt. A pound of all-purpose flour. I've got King Arthur, and a tablespoon of yeast. Everything kind of goes in the pool sort of at the same time, but we start out by making a really loose mashed potato to make sure that the potato gets really nice and mixed up well. So Brandy is in charge of the mixer, which she doesn't have one of these.
Wait, I have one.
She told me she didn't have.
No,
oh, you don't have this.
I don't
kind.
have like this fancy like lock in and move. I have.
You have like the tilt head?
Yeah, that sounds like it's dying every time I use it.
Oh, bless it.
I turn it on and it has like 1 level of speed. It's on its last leg. Please pray for my mixer.
All of us should pray for her mixer.
Yeah.
But you know what? Okay, so how old is that mixer, roughly?
So it's really not that old. Maybe 10 years, maybe 9. Okay. I don't feel like that should be that old for a mixer.
Well, the reason that I ask is because, first of all, your KitchenAid used to be owned by the Hobart people who make like full-on serious mixers, and then the Whirlpool people bought them. And bless their hearts, they meant well. They really did. They wanted to make them quieter. So in order to, I guess moms could still yell at their children over the sound of the mixer.
Yeah, which is what you are looking for in a mixer.
Exactly. They made the gearing all nylon, which meant if you were using it with any kind of regularity to do anything, even the slightest bit stiff, like a bread dough or a bunch of like really thick, heavy cookie dough, the gears would eventually strip out and then they were done.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happens. Like you change it and it's like,
Yeah, really? Adeline. Excuse us. I'm going to put Adeline in jail. Brandy's going to entertain you for a moment.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brandy, and I see a couple people. Hey, it's Jenny. I know her. My glasses are fogging up. I'm horrible at Facebook Living. Please come back, Jenny. Please.
I'm coming. I'm going to watch.
Oh, look, she's here. Thank God.
I'm going to rinse my hands off.
Okay, so I'm here. We're making potato cinnamon rolls at 10:30 at night, which seems like the appropriate thing to do at 10:30 at night.
Well, of course it is. We just got back from having dinner at La Piazza. This was lovely. So we're going to do this super fast because these guys need to go back to their hotel and go to bed at some point.
True.
And then tomorrow morning they're going to come back because this dough gets a nice slow overnight rise in the refrigerator. So when she comes back in the morning, we'll be back with you and we're going to roll out the dough and we're going to make the goo and spread the goo and roll it up. And
so when she says we're going to roll it out, I'm totally making her do that because I don't do that.
I don't do that.
You guys, I'm the worst at baking. Also, I mean, except for the recipes on my blog, those are great.
Well, obviously.
I don't use a lot of yeast because it just scares the crap out of me.
You know what I tell people? I tell people yeast is a one-celled organism. You are comprised of trillions of cells.
I know.
You're smarter than yeast. Do not be afraid of yeast. All yeast does is it sees carbohydrates and it thinks dinner, and it eats them, and it fartles out carbon dioxide,
all right,
and it makes alcohol. That is all yeast does. That's it. Don't be afraid of the farting single-cell organism.
If you take anything away from our cinnamon roll video, it's that single-celled organisms fart, and don't be scared of them.
Exactly.
You can just stop watching now. What more do you even need to know?
Well, I think that's important information to know.
It's important.
Because if you look at it, and it's like when you have to give a speech, and they tell you to picture people in their underwear.
Okay, just picture them in their yeast.
No, this is like picture the yeast just farting and making alcohol. It's less intimidating if you know what they do.
Got it.
Know your enemy.
I won't be scared of yeast anymore.
Lies. I don't believe.
I just lied to her face.
Totally did. Okay, so we're going to use the scale, and I have my favorite scale, the one that I've been using. This one is probably 12 or 13 years old, is the Escali Primo. It's like $25 on Amazon.com. And it weighs up to 11 pounds. I love it.
Great.
Okay, so we're going to put the bowl on the scale.
Okay. Look at that. I got that bowl right off.
Oh my God. It was masterful. So what do we have to do now, do you think? Because right now it says that this weighs 26.75 ounces.
We got to clear that out.
Clear it out, people.
Look at that, guys. I don't know how to do that in yours.
There you go with that button. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is measure out 8 ounces of these potatoes. These are still pretty hot, but they're dry. I left them on the stove for, I don't know, 10 minutes, something like that. Minutes. All right, so tell me when we get to 8.
Keep going. More.
I put a little bit of salt in this in the water, but not a ton.
Bring it on.
Oh my God, 8 is a lot, you guys. 8 is enough.
7, exactly.
We're so close.
7. Tiny bit more.
7.5.
We're so close. Oh, well.
That works. It's 8.05. We're going to call that a day. We have a little bit left that I will do something with, but not right now.
You could have a potato feast before bed.
Maybe you like
a potato midnight snack. Bring it to bed with you.
With a little Parmesan, perhaps.
Yeah, I'm not going to judge you.
Okay, so these are still hot. So then we're going to take our stick of butter, cut him up. And this is pretty much straight out of the refrigerator. This is hot enough that nothing horrible is going to happen. If your potatoes are closer to room temperature, I would say probably go ahead and at least soften the butter in the microwave for a little while. Okay. So let's put that guy back on. We're going to start with the paddle attachment.
Yeah. Do I have to put the attachment on first?
No. Yes. Because if you put the attachment on first, you cannot get the bowl back.
Y'all, I can't. I said y'all like I live in this house.
You're practicing. You have to start with it up. Because see, look, it has this little clipper thing. See this clip?
Yeah, clip.
So it has to go up,
pulls in,
and then down.
Yeah, and I won't remember that. But thank you for showing me.
Well, here, you can put this on.
That I can do. Watch out, guys. I know how to put a paddle attachment on.
So who's here? What are you guys doing?
All right.
Kate, are you still afraid of yeast? Please say no. See? Renee says you are smarter than yeast. Oh, wait, great quote. We're going to make t-shirts that say you are smarter than yeast.
And then I bring this little guy up, right?
Yes, bring it up.
Okay, and turn it on.
Mm-hmm. Well done. And then I'm going to wait on the milk. I'm going to put some more, like, less gooey things in. So
less gooey things.
So I'm going to put the salt in right now. So like I said, about a teaspoon and a half. If you don't put any salt in your bread, the yeast get carried away. Salt inhibits yeast growth, and it also helps with the structure of the crumb. So salt-free breads tend to be really sort of flabby, and they like overproof really easily, and then they taste kind of like not much.
Okay, so salt that bread.
Please salt the bread. Okay, so there's that. Let's put in... next. How is it looking?
It's the butter is melting.
Perfect. That's exactly what we were hoping would happen, and it is happening. So let's put in the. You know what? We're gonna let's do this. We're going to measure the sugar into this cup.
Okay.
Good. Pushing that button is also called the tare button, which I guess is, I don't know what language that is.
I don't know anything about languages. I took 4 years of Spanish, and the only thing I can say is "me permite ir al baño," which is, do you permit me to go to the bathroom?
All I can say in French is "je vais à la plage," which is I'm going to the beach.
So I can get us to the bathroom, and she can get us to the beach.
In 2 different languages.
In 2 different languages.
Okay, 2.3. That can go in.
All right, this is just running, right?
Yep.
All right.
Just going to let it go in there. And then once that's in, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. This is basically just like sweetened mashed potatoes at this point.
All right, I'm in.
Perfect. All right, shall we show the people?
Sure. Let's show the people what they want to see.
People?
Here we go. Oh, shit. You guys, I should not be allowed to be on Facebook Live. I need too much editing. I can't even get this thing off.
Here, let's... Okay, now get it. You can do it. I know you can.
Y'all. There we go.
There. Okay. Just kind of go good.
There we go.
All right, so this is what it looks like. Just sort of like soupy mashed potatoes. Let me get a spoon so you can see.
I'm collecting all
the texture of this. Kind of gloopy. Not super appetizing, but that's okay.
Well, I was collecting the drippings. I wasn't gonna, let it go all over your floor. I'm not a heathen.
You're nice. I've given you something to put it on. Here.
You see what she puts me through?
Here.
Oh.
Just put it there.
I'm gonna go wash my hands now because they look nice.
All right, so I'm just gonna scrape the side of the can. What do we have in here right now? We have potatoes, butter, sugar, salt. So the next thing we're going to do, since the butter is all melted and the potatoes are all mashed,
start up
beautifully, we're going to put in milk.
And then snap it.
Yes. Perfect.
I'm already learning.
Perfect, yes. And then that guy goes back on, and we're in business. I'm going to use another one of these cups. We need 6 ounces or 3/4 of a cup of whole milk. And the reason why I say to use whole milk is for a couple of reasons. Reason number 1, a little bit more extra fat never hurt anybody in a yeast spread, especially in a sweet dough.
All right.
And number 2, I am of the opinion that whole milk is less processed than milks that have lesser fat, because then they have to go through more steps to get out the fat.
Number 3, skim milk is a lie.
It is a lie. It used to be, they used to just throw it away.
Yeah.
Until like the 70s or something. They didn't, it wasn't even fit for human consumption.
Don't tell me you drink skim milk because I'll just...
It's blue for a reason.
Yeah.
You shouldn't drink it. No. And they add, so the reason, like, have you ever like used skim milk and you put it in your cereal and like around the edges of the bowl it looks kind of blue, but the rest of it looks like white? Like milk should look. It's because they add back in milk solids, like powdered milk, to get rid of the blue. It's gross. No skim milk, please. And a lot of times the skim milk comes from like really sad cows.
Yeah. Let's just not do it.
Yeah. Okay, so 6 ounces of reasonably healthy, organic,
a little over
whole milk. Yes, I was at 6.35, so some of that's going to go back in, some of it's going to go on the counter. Oh, too much. A little bit.
So close, like just a drop.
I'm going to say that's good enough.
All right, that's good.
We're at 5.95, so we're going to go with that. That can go in.
Just while it's running?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And then you can just dump it in there.
All right, we're in.
Perfect. Okay, so that's going. All we need now is the egg and 2 yolks. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the whole egg. Brandy's in charge of separating the eggs from their yolks.
Okay.
Because
just into here?
You can use both if you want to put the whites in one and the yolks in the other.
What do you need from me?
The whites in one and the yolks in the other, and then we'll just put the yolks in here.
Okay.
And this is looking, and it's even smoother than it was before. I'll show you once the eggs are in. I'll show you. I'm going to rinse my fingers off because there's like that egg goo on them. Oh, you guys, if you're watching this and you are enjoying our shenanigans, why don't you share it on wherever you have me watching from your Facebook page, because everybody needs to see the shenanigans, don't you think?
I do. Just
so if you would share, that would be kind of awesome. I would appreciate it. All right, so Brady's going to wash her hands. I'm going to save these wipes for some other something. I'm going to just dump in the 2 yolks.
In they go.
Mostly. Come on. All right. Do you want to stop that and scrape the bowl real fast, and we can show the people one more time what it looks like? Because all it needs to go in now is the flour and the yeast. So basically we've made a really thin, sweet, butter and egg enriched mashed potato. That's pretty much what this is. And if you guys had seen on the blog, not only did I make the gooey cinnamon rolls with potatoes, I also made, the, what was the other thing I made? The sandwich buns, the potato buns. And it's exactly the same ingredients, just different proportions. Less egg, less butter, less sugar, because it's not a sweet dough. But I made it exactly the same way and started with a really thin, enriched mashed potato, just to make sure that the potato would get evenly dispersed throughout the whole dough. All right. So now let's go ahead and switch to Mr. Dough Hook.
Mr. Dough Hook, got it. Looks like this.
And we're going to put in a pound of flour and a tablespoon of, you're going to put the yeast in on top of the flour. We're not going to put the yeast in right in the soup here, because the soup has salt and it has fat in it, 2 things that inhibit yeast development if it's like too concentrated. So that's why I always put the flour in first, put the yeast on top.
Got it.
Okay, so let's use a cup thing, and I'm going to do the pound of all-purpose, which is at roughly 4.5 ounces per cup. But please weigh things. It just makes life much easier, and your results are going to be way more consistent.
She tells me this all the time.
She doesn't listen. She's a problem.
I listen.
She just doesn't follow directions.
I do what I want when I want.
It's like the cat mug.
Exactly.
You guys have seen that mug, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen it. I naturally have seen
You're just speaking for everyone.
Yes, everyone has seen it. No one else.
She is super bossy. All right, I'm going to get the mug out, and you're going to put the tablespoon of yeast right on top of the flour.
Fine. I'll do it.
Thank you.
She makes me do everything around here. All right, this is the yeast. Look at that. Did I do it right? Am I doing it right?
You're dumping it in.
Well, she was looking at me like I was doing it wrong. I felt the judgment.
Did she? Okay. Here, now we're going to put that.
She's never inviting me over again.
Here's the mug. I know it's backwards because we're in selfie mode, but this is the little flipping the bird cat that says, I do what I want. And it's the best mug ever. I got it for Jeffrey for Valentine's Day, but only because I wanted it.
At least she admits it.
He knew. The same reason I got him a chef knife.
You bought him a chef knife?
I did.
Turn it on?
Yes, please. Low. Yeah, good. And we're going to let that come together for, however long it takes to come together. And then we're going to turn it up to medium-ish and let it knead until it is nice and smooth and shiny and really extensible. And by extensible, I just mean it's like super stretchy. Like if you grabbed a piece of it and you started stretching it out, you'd say, wow, that's stretching way farther than I thought that it might.
Okay.
Then you're in good shape.
So turn it into gum?
Basically. Well, that's basically what gluten is.
All right.
Kind of. It's, it's like a protein gum.
Yeah.
Stretchy, non-soluble, structural elements. Yes. So, all right, right now it's looking really shaggy. There's still a lot of dry ingredients around the sides.
Just so you know, at this point, if I was alone in my kitchen, I would be like, it's not working. Just throw it away.
I am going to the spa.
You know what? And then I'd be like, you know what? I want cinnamon rolls? Grams make cinnamon rolls. They're not real.
But
they work. But these are going to be way better. So then I'm going to be like, what am I doing with my life?
Okay, so let's show everybody what would upset Brandy if she saw it in her kitchen.
Oh, I think I take this thing off here. Slow learner.
So about a minute has gone by. You want to just pick it up and show the people? Can you pick the
this thing
hook up and see if it's...
Yeah,
see how it's just like really, it's very, very wet. It actually still kind of looks like mashed potatoes. It looks like a really stiff pat a choux is what it looks like at this point.
Sorry, I'm really bad at this whole Facebook Live thing here, but we're going to show you here.
Yeah,
you can see it.
All right, so scrape the bowl one more time. And then I would say this has really pretty much come together. And this is going to be way too soft to work. The saving grace of this dough is the overnight rise. Because not only does that give it plenty of time for even more gluten to develop, and for all of the flour to really hydrate really well.
We're going back on.
It also hardens up the starches in the potato, and that stick of butter turns back into a hard stick of butter. So it's much, much easier to work with after the overnight rise. You guys will see tomorrow. This is going to be a very soft dough to begin with, and it is not going to make us sad. We're going to continue.
Why? You guys, it's like I'm drunk and I'm not.
She's not.
I had one sangria.
Hours ago.
Hours ago.
There we go.
It's the seltzer water.
It does it to me sometimes too.
It's turning me into some kind of monster who doesn't know how to use a mixer.
Okay, turn that bad boy on.
Oops, did I go too fast?
No, I think you're fine. Okay, so I'm going to call that mixed.
Okay.
And after the mixing comes the kneading.
Okay,
so let's turn them up to medium. So like maybe 4-ish. Yes.
Woo!
Okay.
Things are cooking now.
Very excited.
Things are beaten now.
So we are not going to make you guys watch us knead this dough.
Oh no, we are. No kidding. You'll be here all night.
For the next 10 minutes. No, you can go if you have to. She's mean and bossy. You do not have to listen to her.
You would love me in real life.
I do.
Here's the thing I just want to point out, by the way, her mixer is beautiful sounding. At this point, mine would sound like a dying giraffe. Screaming like it's horrible.
Maybe
and sort of jumping
should
around.
send you a new one.
It would be nice. There are some people that have like 10 of them. Share the wealth, people.
I have heard these stories. I am not one of those people.
Oh wait, I just want to ask you a real quick question right over here. So that if someone else is making this and you're like, oh, I don't like making bread. So it just looks very sticky and that's normal?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it does look very sticky. 2 reasons. Reason number 1, this is just a really wet dough.
Okay.
And that's just the way it is. Did I say there were 2 reasons?
You said there was 2, but you're only giving us one.
Yeah, pretty much that's the main one. It's just a really wet dough. I'll do the math and tell you, but if you do all the other ingredients as a percentage of the flour, we have a pound of flour in there. And then liquid-wise, we have 6 ounces of milk. We have the water part of the egg whites, which is probably going to be, let's just be conservative and say 1.5 ounces. So that's 6, 7.5, right?
Yeah.
And then the water that was in the butter. And in 4 ounces, there's going to be maybe just under 1 ounce. So let's call it conservatively 0.5 ounce. So where are we now? 8? Is that 8? Sure.
It's a lot.
Well, it's really 50% of the weight of the flour is water, which is actually a pretty stiff dough. But think of all the enrichment. There's 4 ounces plus of the fat from the butter in it that is melted by the hot potato. There's also less gluten per ounce of structural element because of the potato. We're using 1 part potato, 2 parts flour, so already we're missing some of that gluten. You guys, Adeline is over here batting at a leaf that is just...
Yeah, it's really adorable. It's like when you watch a video of a cute kitten being like...
So I have to show you these real fast. a wonderful friend of mine, Colleen, who lives in Australia, sent these to me today special because it's Father's Day, and this is my first Father's Day since my dad died a couple of months ago, and she just thought that I needed like brightening. So she sent these gorgeous, gorgeous flowers, and this leaf right here that is sticking out really far, this was Adeline's favorite, and so she was sitting over there just going bat, 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 bat. And it was very cute. So that's why we were both looking over there. So anyway,
distracted.
So Colleen, I don't know if you're watching, but thank you. That was just the dearest thing. I appreciate it so much. So, okay, so there's that. So what was I saying? Oh, there's not as much, like if we had used 1.5 pounds of flour instead of 1 pound of flour and 8 ounces of potato, then we'd have half again as much gluten happening in there, some more structure. So we're getting more starch and less protein because we used the potato.
Okay, so when you write out your recipe, do you warn people that it should look like this? Because you should.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Because I'm one of those people that when people write these directions, like, don't worry, it's going to look curdled. I'm always like, thank you. I'm like, thank you for putting that, because I would have freaked out.
Right.
So when I write recipes that kind of do the same, I'm like, don't worry, it's going to look weird.
Yeah.
It's okay, just keep going.
We'll show everybody what this looks like now, because I think that's a very good point. I am not like the queen of the process shot, so consider this a process shot, and maybe I can just put this in those recipes. I'll just put our Facebook Live in the recipes so you guys can see.
I never take process shot photos, but I always at least try to
explain.
Say to them, like, oh, it's going to look really weird, or just go with it, or keep going, even though it looks like it's not going to work.
Right. So we've probably been doing this, what, 5 minutes or something?
Yeah.
You want to pull that guy out?
Yeah.
He's very, very soft. See, he's stretching, but look, he broke.
He broke.
So we know we need longer time. There's also around the sides of the bowl, can you see how it's sticking all the way up here? And then there's like the whole mass of the dough is sticking in like probably a 5-inch circle in the bottom.
Yeah, it's like not doing.
And you know, like how they tell you that it should clear the sides of the bowl and it's going to climb up the hook and all these things. And it will climb up the hook, but this dough is not ever going to clear the sides of the bowl. What I look for with a dough that's this soft is this stuff on the sides of the bowl. Of course, it was like slung there by the dough hook, but this dough, as it's going around the inside of the bowl, it like touches that, right? And like pulls it, so it's still sort of being mixed and like kneaded on the sides, kind of. And every once in a while, I'll like scrape it and then put it back in, and then other gets out there on the sides. And so it starts like when it pulls off in like little tiny jagged things. Like this, it's just like little tiny, I don't know, mountain peaky looking things on this
little
side.
Baby peaks of mountains of dough.
And another way that's easier for me to tell when a dough like this is ready is that it'll start coming more in sheets rather than in peaks.
Got it. Sheets, not peaks.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you what that means, but when it like pulls away, it'll be in sheets, not like just
like bigger pieces, like bigger, thinner, longer.
Bigger, like bubble gum.
Yes,
looking
versus sort of a wet, tacky,
non-stretchy. Yes, I don't know if that makes sense.
It makes sense in my head, and I'm hoping that everyone can read our minds.
Please tell me that makes sense. What does Alessio say? It's almost. What are you doing up? Go to bed. Better than
5 a.m.
What's better than watching these ladies kneading dough? Nothing. Obviously, sleep. Sleep is kind of awesome, Alessio. I don't know.
Sleep is amazing.
Sleep is my favorite.
Wait, I need to know. Are you like up now? Like you never went to bed, or you just wake up early?
No, I think your life is like offset, isn't it, Alessio?
So you're like a vampire.
Susan says it makes sense. Thank God, because I didn't think it made sense.
Yeah, I could see it in my brain, and
yeah. You'll be able to tell, I promise. And it's going to take probably another 5 to 7 minutes of kneading. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and go. And
I guess.
We're going to go. If she wants to do her own Facebook Live.
No. We're going, because I need to go to my hotel and, shower and go to bed. And
yes, and then she'll come back in the morning. What time are you coming in the morning?
Like, I don't know, like 6 a.m.? I'm kidding. I'm never up at 6
Go to Alessio's house, okay?
If you saw me at 6 a.m., it would not be pretty. Let's see. I can come at 8 or 9, 10.
Whichever.
9.
Yeah.
9. Okay. We like sleep.
Yeah, 9. Between 8:30 and 9.
That works. I'll bring you coffee.
Perfect. From the Sola?
Yes, obviously.
I will give you my order before you leave.
Obviously.
Okay, so we will be back on then, let's say 9:30.
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning, Eastern Standard Time, to roll out dough, put goo on the dough. Roll. Yeah, she's just going to stand there and watch me.
I'm just going to stand here and look pretty.
You're good at that.
The whole time I'll be like
the Vanna of,
I'm going to be the Vanna
rolls.
You'll be my Pat.
My Pat St. Jack.
This is my friend Pat. I'm Vanna.
Vanna. All right, so we're going to go. Thank you so much for watching. This was kind of short notice.
You.
So we're glad that you joined us. I'm going to share this on my page. I'll share it on my Pastry Chef Online page. Maybe Brandy will share it over to her Nutmeg Nanny page. And if you're not a fan of Nutmeg Nanny, for God's sake, what are you waiting for?
Yes, please come like me.
She has a wonderful page. She makes a bunch of videos. She does a very good job with her videos.
Actually, someone helps me with those, but that's okay.
But still, and she also does a lot more savory food than I do. But her desserts, she likes to make them because, she's not a huge baker, so she makes things that are really accessible and not difficult to make. And delicious, because delicious food is important to both of us.
Yes, my latest dessert was a cherry fritter cake. And
it was beautiful.
100% delicious.
I might have shared that on my page too. So go like Brandy, Nutmeg Nanny, and we will see you guys in the morning. And again, thank you so much.
And go to bed if you're up and it's 5 a.m.
Seriously, Alessio. All right, bye you guys.
Bye.